Welcome to Live with the Bride. I'm Tori Perano, owner and creative director of Passera Events.
I'm Sarah Schreiber, former weddings editor turned wedding consultant, and today we are talking about the advent of AI in weddings. Yeah. Tori, I know that this is something that you have been pioneering for a long time in your business. You've been leveraging AI for renderings and mock-ups, and I'm so curious because I feel like, this is something that couples might be seeing in the future. So tell me about how you use it.
Yeah, great question, because I think there is so much mixed feelings of, is AI going to replace me? Is it going to, completely remove designers out of the ability of what they can do? So, and the answer is absolutely not. It's never going to replace anybody. Right. But we as a industry and as a society has to play into it, or you're going to get left behind. The value of AI is coming up with unique, different concepts. That's what it is. Imagine Pinterest, but elevated. Imagine Instagram, but different. Right. AI is where you take your ideas in your head, whether you saw it through inspiration through a hotel, you went to a resort, no matter where you are, a restaurant, you're like, wait, that's kind of cool. How can that be in a wedding? Yeah. That's where you go to AI. You start manipulating it. You start talking it through. You start typing in exactly what do you want it to show. Right. And then it's just a concept. Now you have a concept, and then you take it to a vendor team. And then you go into the process of renderings and sketches after you have your whole concept development. And it's just a good, I would say, driver's seat into getting you into something unique. One thing that wedding industry, I feel like vendors are doing is that they see other ideas, they tweak it just a little so it's not an exact copy, right, but the concept's the same. Right. That's not what brides are wanting nowadays. They're just not. They're evolutionizing. They want something different. We're in this market of like, oh, well, my friend did that. It's got to be different. It's got to be bigger, better. Mm-hmm. And whether they say it or not, that's what they're thinking. Period. Right. And AI is helping that happen. Yeah. And when vendors are not using AI and if they're not thinking about it, it's the simple fact of, okay, but somebody else is. Right. And when that somebody else is, someone else is going to say, you know what? She's doing this differently. She's coming up with unique concepts. And now here we are.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me how, in your process and how you use AI, I think the main concern, right, is the removal of the personal when it comes to AI and the storytelling. Mm-hmm. And I think, how do you ensure that, how you are using AI also incorporates a couple's story or, the values that they have or, the absolute priorities that they want, seen in those, initial renderings.
No, absolutely. And we begin with a couple story. Yeah. We never begin in AI and then try to make AI match the story. We start the story and then we lean into the story into AI. Yeah. So we're merging their story and making AI fit their story. Cool. That's the difference. People think that AI is leading the wedding. No, it's the couple story every single time. And then AI is going to enhance some sort of aspect from that story. And remember, I'm in charge of AI. Yeah. We're all in charge of it. Right. The AI robot is not in charge of us. You can't look at it as if that's leading us. I'm leading it. I tell it what I need. Yeah. And it essentially works for you. So why not use this tool when it's there for everybody to use? It's a tool that we all have access to. Use it. Capitalize on it. Mm-hmm. How can it benefit you? How can it benefit your couples? So then you put their story merged into AI and then you continue to elevate that into a unique concept. And then boom, you have a completely different concept of an event. Whole storyline matches the couple though, but you're not replicating something you've seen on Pinterest or Instagram or TikTok. Yeah, that's what they want.
It's super interesting. How do you, refine it then, as the human, right, behind the machine? Mm-hmm. You can, feed it all of these pieces of information. Mm-hmm. Do you continue to fiddle with it or do you kind of take those concepts and then you put your own touch on what they give you?
Yeah. So it's evolving. So let's just say we use commands in AI. Right. We could go through 50 or 100 commands because maybe they're not giving me what I'm thinking. Right. Maybe they're taking it and they're botching it because AI does botch things.
Yeah. It's not perfect.
That's that. It's technology. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect. We would go through this for days. Sometimes we've done it for a month. And you're trying to constantly refine it because you want to make sure that you're not leaving that vision that you have. So we'll work through it, get to the point where we have a vendor and floral production team that says, absolutely, that's doable. Because sometimes the ideas we present, they're like, Tori, that's not realistic. Thank you. That's all I need. That's the
Right.
feedback. Guess what I'm going to do? Go back into a different command. And I'll say to them, what's not realistic? XYZ, this is not realistic. AI doesn't know it's realistic though. Their job is to take my commands and give me what I want. Is their job to say what XYZ vendor can do? No, absolutely not. And so then that vendor will say, this is what you need to tweak. Thank you. Now we're going to go back to the drawing board, and now we are working as a whole unit team for that couple. So it's not a one and done job. Planners, designers, florists, anybody that uses AI needs to be ready to put in the time. Be patient, put in the time, sit and learn it. Because if you're not learning it, if you're not using it, trust me, you will be left behind. It's as simple as that. But it's worth the end goal.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. So couples who are, starting to work with pros, like let's just say you just got engaged, you're starting to vet people, like should they be looking for vendors that, use this in some part of their business? Like, is this something that you communicate when you're talking to clients early on? Like, is this like a new aspect of the business that couples should be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like every bride should look for vendors that know how to use AI. If they want something different, if they're looking for cookie cutter, if they're looking for another Instagram replication or Google, no, maybe AI is not important. And that's fine though.
Totally.
Maybe brides don't want to go outside the box. We have literally hundreds of thousands of brides out here. That's okay. But if you are a bride looking for something unique, different experience for your guests, different experience for you, you should absolutely make sure it's a requirement that who you're hiring knows how to leverage AI.
Yeah. What are some of the most, successful design schemes that you have created? Do you have a favorite that comes to mind? We can maybe show a little, something. I want to see one of your renderings here, poof, and then poof, what the result was, because I think it's really interesting to see like start and finish.
Yeah. So immediately we just interviewed a bride that had the horsehair fabric, flowers, and while in the rendering, the AI initial concept, it was some sort of fabric.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fabric was going to be though until I spoke to a florist who was really educated in fashion, said, oh, we can do this with horsehair. Great. Did AI tell us horsehair? No. The genius of the florist did.
Right.
So no credit was taken away from her.
Right.
The concept just started in AI.
Right.
So that was the floral concept of this epic tent. Something different, something that's never been done before. Then to take it a step further, the unique dance floor underneath that horsehair fabric, all done in AI. How did that happen? The bride's favorite flowers were orchids. We knew we loved that deep green. So then I manipulated AI to come up with my own file. And that was truly all AI. All I had to do was export it into a tile pattern, and then I gave it to my vendor to print. Boom, all in AI.
Yeah.
So she didn't have a dance floor that anybody else has ever had. No one else can ever have it unless they have my file.
Right.
So wow, now the value of AI just went from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Simply because I know how to use it.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And another example, outside the horsehair fabric is another concept of a floral design. And we just spoke to Anna Kate earlier, was the sealant install.
Yeah.
The parents didn't understand what this unique concept was going to be. So I started with it in AI, and then we took it to sketch rendering form. But we just had to have a baseline, kind of factor there. One other thing too that we did is a lot of dance floor pattern files. We talked about this earlier, but that's also an easy way that we can have file patterns mix into play, and using it through AI, because we know that no one else is going to replicate the file when we have a story behind it, from mixing in a bride's favorite attire into the dance floor wrap and her favorite patterns, maybe something she wore before. Okay, how can we use that into the wedding? And we did it through AI with the dance floor wrap.
Yeah. And I think like the other point here too is that you have a really accurate visual in the end that I think helps educate clients on what this is actually going to look like beyond just a sketch, beyond just this. Like you have the actual, and it helps them understand the vision. It helps them understand the investment.
Yep.
You can say, wow, yeah, this is really what it's going to look like, because the rendering versus reality is like kind of scary close.
No.
Most of the time, I would say I've seen some of your renderings versus realities, and like, listen, the realities are better than the renderings, but the renderings are accurate.
Yeah, but also to that point, when you were in publication, I submitted to you the renderings to honestly help you as the editor
visualize,
to understand what is it that you're going to accept.
Right.
Is this worthy to put at the very top? Because hundreds of people are submitting, and having AI involved with that process is like, oh wait, Tori, okay, I see the vision. Of course, we still need to see the real wedding photos.
Sure, right.
But like,
we're not accepting AI.
yeah, we're not
Right,
accepting AI,
but we have
but it
the
helps,
tool.
helps see what is she going to be presenting
Yeah.
when that time comes. Great. Flag it. We'll see where it comes.
Yeah, and it's not like super complicated, right? Like
No.
I think it's just a skill. Like it's another
skill.
tool in the toolbox.
Absolutely.
That I think like couples are, going to need to expect that
Yeah.
people are using. And it's not taking away from
No.
anything, right? Like I mean,
No.
I think like I hear this, I'm like, what is going to be taken away, you know, when it comes to AI? Like that might be some hesitation that I feel, but it sounds like, to the point of working with that florist, like that gave her like a new opportunity, a new medium to work with. It didn't take away the work from her.
No.
It actually gave her the work.
Absolutely. And I hear it all the time that the misconception is, well, AI is replacing florist's capability of creativity. It's replacing the designer's capability. Absolutely not. Don't look at it in a negative light. Look at it as a positive light. Change the mentality and say it's just a tool to help us get to a point. Because that florist could have said, hey, Tori, that's just not realistic. Let's go back to the drawing board. Thank you. Great. But instead, I didn't know what the fabric was either that they were trying to present. And she says, the best fabric's gonna be horsehair fabric. And let me order a sample. It's gonna be incredible. Wonderful. So, we took one image and completely made it reality, all because of AI starting with it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I think more people should just have the patience, learn it, dive deep into it, and just know it's not one day you're going to learn it. I've been practicing with this over a series of 2 years when it first started, and AI continues to grow and evolve. So as I'm growing with it, it's also growing. I feel like once I have one thing under my belt, oh, there's a new update. I'm like, okay, great. I got to learn that now. So just know that, give yourself some grace. Be patient with it. It's okay. Reach out for help. I can't imagine how much YouTube videos I've watched on just research different commands and just figuring it out.
Yeah. I think the point here too is like it's not, replacing your creativity. It's giving you a baseline to iterate on, and it's like taking things that you already know and presenting it in a certain way, and like you are still a very creative person and you are still very like good at your job. You are just using a tool that you have, to tell a story and then like expanding upon it when you have to. Right? Like would you say that's fair? I mean, I think like you're teaching me something today. Like this is a world that I don't know very well. I'm not very AI literate. And I feel like a lot of people aren't, like I definitely am not. And I think people are hesitant about it. So I think like hearing like, okay, wait, this is actually how it can be used to create something really amazing. And I'm honestly also wondering too, like you're using it at the scale of your business, but I'm also wondering how brides who like maybe can't afford something, like that on that scale, if they can use it independently at home to kind of create their own types of things, create their own ideas. And I'm sure they could with a little bit of research.
Oh, everybody can use it in their own form or fashion. Everybody, there's no one, it's not just to florists or planners or anybody. Anybody can use it in their own form of light. It's just making sure you have your right mentality. Don't go into it saying, this is the future. This is taking me out the loop. This is this and that.
Right.
Just change mentality. It's just a simple tool. It's like having Canva by our size. Like just use it as a tool.
I'm a big Canva person.
Yeah. Slay Canva.
I love Canva.
Queen.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe AI is next.
Yeah. Okay, there you
if
go.
I can do Canva,
add it to the list,
I can do something else.
Yeah.
We will evolve.
Yeah. Period.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Leave your feedback in the comments if you want us to talk about anything that you have on your mind, hot topics, hot takes. But we're all here for it, and we can't wait to chat with you all soon. Thanks so much for tuning in to Live with the Bride. Follow us on Instagram, watch us on YouTube, and let us know what topics you want to hear more about. See you next time.